So, first question, how long have you been working in education?
34 years.
34 years. And
Let's see, 1978. Well, 76.
Okay.
Yes, I was before IDEA, in the first act for special ed.
And then, where did you start out? Did you how did your progression go in education?
Back then, you got a K-12. Okay. I also had what was known as a special ed. It wasn't called an endorsement. I took a lot of classes that were special ed-y, okay? Because there was a major, but there wasn't a major. I mean, it was like a whole new field. And so I got hired in Selah, Washington. Because my husband got the first job in Yakima. We were just getting married. And so I prepared. There was like close to 600 applicants, okay? And I got it with Vicki Schwartz, who ended up going to England on a Fulbright scholarship and something else. Hello, look at me, I'm still here. Okay. But anyway, they had told me that I was going to be teaching second grade, so I had planned for second grade, okay? And I'd been on a bicultural, bilingual back then in Pasco, so I did almost a whole year of student teaching. So I did a core in kindergarten, and then each month I'd go a first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth. It was really cool. And I couldn't speak Spanish, but I talked with my hands. So anyway, 2 days before school started, hello, not thinking, because I'd gone down, we moved over, and they said, oh, no, you'll be fine. So I went down about 3 days before school started. Stupidest thing I've ever done. To set up my second grade classroom, okay? Hello. And Frank Rowland said, do you like kindergarten? I said, oh, yes. Well, it's yours. Now, in hindsight, what I know about now is you start setting up in May for September. I'm serious. You are in your classroom all summer long, making things. And really, you start setting up your class the 1st of August. So, and then I had 32 kinders in the morning and 33 kinders in the afternoon.
Wow.
Yes, and I walked 4 miles in the snow. How do I remember? Because it was 65. I can still remember. And I got pregnant. Don't ask. Don't ask. You know. And then the following year, they said to me, it's a hoot. They said to me, feeling so honored, we're going to try this.
310?
Yeah. Okay. We're going to try this inclusion, or whatever it was called, okay? I felt so honored because I was going to have children with handicap and conditions and whatever. Okay, it's a small district. And I found out they had asked 4 other kindergarten teachers before me because we ran 13 sessions of kinder, okay? Because it was a preschool to 4th grade, and then it turned to a preschool through 2nd. So we had 880 kids. And then across the street, we had the 3, 4, 5 down the street. And I felt so honored. Well, I found out later that they asked 3 other people before me, and then they realized that the room I was in had the best one to knock down the wall to have access to a bathroom. Humbled me. Oh, and I had a special ed background.
That too.
So then I did that. Then I went and talked to ALC, EBD kids, and then I had DD kids in my room, and it was a small district, and I was known as a swing player. Seriously, they'd say, Sin, how do you feel about this grade? Yeah. Well, you got it. Because I was always, there's a point to this, I was always open to new things. And they were gracious, and we were the first district in the state to be the whole language people. Oh, jeez. How am I trained? Direct instruction. I was, because I got their noses all the time, Reading math was called something different. And then I took every opportunity. I taught every grade level. I took on the early childhood and did ECAP in the afternoon as one of the first ECAP teachers. Selah option program that was through Central, where I had student teachers in my room constantly. Not student teachers, but So I was with the university, taught, did everything in SELA.
Once he's done,
Then he may go up to lunch.
you may
I
go
am
up to
proud of you,
Good
Cain.
job, Harry.
Give me 5, Cain. That says a lot. Give me 5 on the dime. Way to go. Okay. So, and I taught court-ordered parenting classes for the Toppenish Native American. I was involved in domestic violence things. I was on the council over there in migrant. We had a lot of migrant children, so we called it the migrant train, where we would track records. This was all before computers. So I guess what I'm saying is, how did I progress to here? I took every opportunity. Every opportunity. I did not wait for the district to say, you need to learn this. Never wait. You take every opportunity. Then we moved to Lake Washington. Got bored after my first year. And got into staff development there for 3 years, and they trained me well. And sped, and it's just unbelievable with the elementaries and the high schools and putting on, and then went national with them and programs, wrote curriculum. And then, where'd I go? Oh, then I became a principal. I don't know. Then and then I came to Tacoma, went to Fawcett. I was known as a cleaner. Okay. I'm a builder and a cleaner. So I in Lake Washington, they put me in a building, and I'd go and I'd clean it in a really nice way. Like, how you doing, teacher? I'm going to work with you. And I'm serious. Because I just believe everybody has a spot in education. But why are you teaching kindergarten when you're not happy? Think about it. Why do you stay? Well, it's the only thing I know. Oh, maybe you want to throw pots in California. Or maybe you might want to try 5th grade. So I would go in, and programs that were stagnant or whatever, then I would go in and change and so then they'd move me someplace else. And then I got moved over here 8 years ago because they had, I don't know, close to 300 suspensions, and now we have 2. And it wasn't me. Have you seen the staff? It's a tremendous staff. Phenomenal staff. And they bought into positive behavioral support. They bought into that every child is placed in this building. We don't send kids to special ed. We run 43 kids in self-contained programs in mainstream. We laugh a lot. So how did I get here? In the long version of it, took every opportunity. I didn't follow the latest fad. I learned about it. And I always had the rule, common sense. Think with your head and lead with your heart. But never think with your head. Because the minute when you start thinking with your heart, you lose sight of that child. Start to pity him. You start to buy in that they are a product of their environment. Oh, well, they have a special ed label, and you'll get there. You expect the exact same thing. So, and that's 34 years, 1976. Okay,
All right.
that's how I got here.
All right.
No.
Long version.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I laugh a lot at myself because I know my quirkiness. I know I'm a control freak. I'm horrible.
Not horrible.
I am. And my staff knows that. If you, as a leader, cannot, you got to know your own faults. I am a horrible bossy. AJ, I'm horribly bossy, right?
Pardon me?
I'm horribly bossy, right?
Yes, ma'am.
She knows the answer.
Oh, am I a control freak?
Just a bit.
But I know that about me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
That's who I am. So if I can't make jokes because I am, no! People look at me but they respect that. But they also can say, "Are we being a little control here?" I said, "Yes." Okay. So that's just okay.
So,
Yeah.
what do you like? What is a typical week like for you? What are different things that
A
you
typical
do?
week?
Yeah, like with kids or staff
Oh,
or
holy poo!
all the yeah.
It is never the same. To be honest, I'm a hands-on principal. Okay, so I tend to get here by about 7:15. Okay, and the minute I get here, somebody's asking me a question. It's very rare for me to be sitting in here. Very. Notice how the people just I have open. Usually this door is open and that door is open and kids are coming through. Okay. A typical day is I couldn't even tell you. I have appointments. I have a rule here that anytime a parent comes, you don't have to make an appointment. Drives me nuts. Any place I've ever been, if a parent wants to talk to me, I'm there. You don't have to call and say, I want to talk to you on Tuesday. Because then if it's a concern, it needs to be dealt with immediately. Okay? I get here, I turn on my computer, and my day starts. And teachers start coming in. It's substitutes. It's like you can see the ceilings were leaking every place. So I want to just make sure that I'm not underwater. Because we run so many special ed kids, usually one of my self-contained teachers in here. I work with all the 4 self-contained teachers, behavioral strategies, interventions, mainstreaming, behavioral things, programming, alignment of IEPs, teachers coming in to say, I've got a doctor's appointment, coming in asking questions. I mean, it is just, you're on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then I do breakfast duty.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Do you see that? And then at 9:02, where am I? Okay, and then I do rounds. I go to every classroom. I check. I do all these things. I talk with kids. I look. I see. That takes me until about 9:45 if I haven't been called back. And then I check all the self-contained rooms. I go and look. Then AJ has business things. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm working with teachers. I'm working with kids. I go up to the lunchroom. I go out to the recess. I answer some emails, you know, urgent ones. I call parents. I try. Really, I don't get much done in terms of business. And then I read stories to the kids. And then I do a lot of, we call them TBs here. They're called therapeutic bounces. A teacher can send a child anytime to this office. Seriously, okay? For anything. Just don't overuse it. So we have celebrations, but kids will come in and I'll say, and you are here because? I say, ooh. A lot of times they'll call the office and I'll just go down and sit behind the child. Or the child, if it's something more severe, I'll say, obviously your teacher needs to teach, and obviously we need to get this solved quickly. Get on the phone and call your mother. I said, but the golden rule is, tell her the truth, which you have just told me. So then I call and I say, well, here's the good news. They were so truthful. Mom will say, what's the bad news? Oh, they did it. See how quick? And then, and I say, ooh, and they go, what's the consequence? Well, I think going home to you tonight. Okay. We talk a little. I say, how dare you shame your family? You are better than this. Now you get back to learning. Usually takes about 6 minutes. See how quick that is? Because one of the things is, and when I go down to the classrooms, it's even quicker because I have a cell phone right here and I go, my top 20. Or I walk by and I go, but I can do that because I built a relationship with them. Then bus duty, and then teachers come in for lessons, instructions, their day, what's going on, a parent or whatever. And then about 5, I do all my emails, all my paperwork, and I get out here about 8:30, 8 o'clock. I never leave this office until I've called every parent, answered every email, whether I know something or not. That's just who I am. So I'm getting better because since I got Jeff, so I'm getting out of here about 7:15, and it's fine because then I can start all over again. And then the weekends, I usually work one weekend a day, like on a Saturday or Sunday after church, and then that's when I write all my evaluations up, all my notes. When you carry this many special ed kids, the paperwork will kill you. And I'm just checking to make sure that we're in policy and alignment and procedures. Because I don't want my teachers ever to get into a legal issue where we lose something because of process. That we as Tacoma haven't dotted our I's and crossed our T's. Okay? That's my day.
Okay.
And I have fun.
Let's see.
Let's see.
Oh, so
Oh, and meetings that I'm supposed to go to.
so you kind of touched on it earlier, but we're just curious, what degrees or certifications do you hold, and like what is the requirement to be in
geez.
administration?
Well, it really, I got to tell you, it really depends on when you graduated. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel sorry for you guys. Holy pajeebies. So years ago in 1978, so what do I have? Okay, so back then I have a K-12 teaching certificate. Whoa, I can teach anything. Did you know they could put me in high school biology? Because I have an old certificate. And I had my minors were early childhood, this thing called special ed.
That thing.
That thing.
I hear it's gonna be big.
We hear it.
The next thing.
Oh, I just giggle. You know, when I think about what it's turned into after 30 some years and to see it evolve, I just go with God with it. I say, ooh, that's a new one. When did we get that rule? And then you had to get your 5th year. Okay. Which, yeah. And of course, I would never take basket weaving. Oh, heck no. So I'm into, these anthropology classes on how kids learn and the brain and all this kind of stuff. And then I did an offshoot with the University of Washington, Seattle, because my son had some learning issues. Okay. And so I got really involved with them on site with the EEU, the Educational Experimental, I can't remember. Okay. Then, because Steve had issues, I always was taking classes professional. Then I went back to WSU from Yakima with 2 children, a husband, and 2 dogs and 4 cats, and traveled to the Tri-Cities once a week and then traveled to Central once a week. Snap. And then spent 2 summers at Pullman. I did a semester in 6 weeks. Not a problem. But I doubled mastered, okay, because I didn't like their master program. So I did curriculum design and instruction. Back then it was called, I don't know what you call it now. And I did a special ed, behavioral, tons of that. That's why you see me all the time, and then I did staff development like Washington, and they said you need to be a principal. So from Sammamish, Redmond, I spent 2 summers going to WSU. I loved it. What could I say? And got my principal credentials, which was 30 hours or something. But they did it really cool at Lake Washington. Is once I got for me to do my internship, okay, I was a vice principal. I was with David with 867 kids in one of the schools. Wow. I knew curriculum. I knew how to teach. I knew how to work with staff. But I didn't know how to operate a building. See how my voice changes? Totally different. See, it looks easy from the outside. Well, I could be a principal. OMG. I didn't know you got this thing called budget. And then setting up these massive schedules for, 2 gyms doing all this. It just opened up a whole new avenue. So that's kind of like what I do in the evenings. It's all that systematic thinking and looking at data. So then I'm ready, and I have to know like all the kids' test scores. So those are the degrees I have. I have a doctorate sitting out there. Yeah, I just didn't know what to write my thesis, and I haven't bought any hours. So maybe when I retire. So you guys now are under a totally different system. I mean, oh my God, what my principals have to do now, you got to do this internship, you got to do these 18. I had that kind of stuff, but not like what the state's saying. So Sarah, do you need me?
Yeah, I just have a question.
Yeah.
So, my copier at home has no paper, but the copiers here don't have any copies. Can I rectify one of those situations by snagging a couple reams to take home to run the word studies?
You can do whatever you want.
Thanks.
Watch me. I don't care. It's really cool.
I know, it's
I'll
gotta be
pay
done,
for it
though.
myself.
No, I can run them at home. I have
A woman
copier.
who is going to not
It's all
do
good.
this
I don't
until
need money.
later.
I just need paper.
Good. Go, God. Just you love how I make a decision. Okay, next.
Okay, what are your favorite things about your job?
Oh, jeez. What's my favorite thing about my job? To be honest, I know this sounds sappy, but the kids. And I know that sounds like, oh, well, she's supposed to say that. But you have to understand something. I've been offered many opportunities to go to an administration position. Okay. I have my superintendent credentials. Okay. Got those along with the doctorate. Okay. Forgot about that one. Okay. I have a very difficult time wasting time. Okay. I believe central administration has a place. I think it's powerful. I think the people who work there are unbelievable. Okay. I'm not very political. And I'm meaning that that's just who I am. I would find myself downtown going, huh? Well, what? Duh. Okay. I have the best of both worlds. If I am like I always do it to like the military. Okay. I have to be around kids, and I have to see a purpose. And when I see Alonzo yesterday, one of our DD kids, instead of saying
I know Alonzo.
instead of saying bitch, motherfucker, bitch, okay, God love him, okay. And he took redirection yesterday the first time and said, "Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am." Okay. You can be in the worst mood, and you can be depressed, and you can be, and you see that first kid coming in at breakfast in the morning, and you're on. So for me, the greatest gift is seeing children have growth over time. That's my most number one thing. And that's what I love about my job, is because I have the best of both worlds. Second thing what I love about my job is I have choice. I can choose to stay here, or I can choose to leave. I can choose to do a program. I can control people.
Control freak? Control.
Yeah, you don't want control at all.
I can admit to mistakes. I mean, it's a perfect job for me.
Mm-hmm.
It fits who I am. Okay. I also realize my importance in the world is, it's really hard to admit, you know, there's millions of principles, but I've learned over the years, I enjoy this job. It's a good fit for me. It has kids, it has parents. We have police here a lot, you know. My goodness, have we had a lockdown with you yet?
I haven't been here one
I'm
month.
sorry, I haven't been
Okay.
here for one. But
Dang, and we're going on almost Christmas. Wow, that's pretty good. We've had a false alarm, and that.
Oh, yeah.
It's real. It's what teaching is, and my thing is, if you can teach at Stanley, you can teach any place. And I love the families, and the teachers. Dang good. Yeah. So That's what I love about my job. It's building relationships. I want to do something different than you. I don't know if I could do. Could you do policy? You know, make it right. You know, coming in doing policy. You know, like at OSB. Does that make sense? Yeah. I don't think I. It's just not who. You know, like what grade do you eventually want to teach?
I'm like second, third a lot. Second,
Okay.
third, first.
You know,
that
third
age.
is the most difficult grade to teach in the state of Washington.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It is the most difficult. You will also get the most parents who do not like you.
Really?
Opinion, but you know, I know why. If you look at why even the Common Core standards, OMG, they're cool. However, okay. So kindergarten, first and second, you are building skills. Second grade is about polishing. You're making sure they're fluent. You're making sure, and everything looks pretty good on the report card. Oh, you got high 2s or 3s. You know, you're hey, and you're cutesy wootsy, and you're happy, and oh, life is wonderful, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get to third, it's the real world. You are expected to know how to read. You are expected to know how to put your papers away. You are expected to know your math and your math facts. There is no gray in third grade. And suddenly those third grade teachers are what? It's universal. I've been in like 8 or 9 districts. I've taught third grade. But I also looped, so I kept my kids. So just, it's a tough grade. And these kids, and you either got it or you don't. It's called making the third grade leap. So when you get these kids to 4th grade, if they haven't made that leap with endurance, sustainability, expectations, think about that. And because of the standardized testing, we have and standard-based report cards, you can't say, oh, he's such a nice boy, but you know, I'm going to give him needs improvement.
Mhm.
No, he's got a 1. There is no data to show that he is able to read 100. Think about that. Isn't that weird? It's a fun grade to teach, okay? But it's very difficult, and a lot of parents, oh, why they're doing this? Because they can. Call the governor. Who's a really good friend of mine. I just talked to him. I did. I just talked to Jay. So anyway, I had all his 3 boys. So, yeah, but that's hard. So as you go through, you might find you like 5th better. See? But it's harder for you guys now with once you get into a grade level and you get those Common Core standards, you never want to switch because it takes your whole life.
Mhm.
Says that, yeah. Years ago, you could switch grade level to grade level. Oh, whatever. So, yeah, what's your favorite?
I really thought I wanted to do like 4th, 5th upper,
Yeah.
and now I'm in kindergarten, right? And
Yeah.
I'm so in love with it, which really shocked me. So I don't know. I really was kind of like, oh, I guess like kindergarten will be interesting. Kind of want an upper grade, but we'll see. And now I'm just like, I never want to leave. I
No.
love it. Where
remember you were nervous
Where
about
are you
that.
going next semester?
I don't know yet. I have to do.
Don Hawsey is 5th.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Yeah.
And runs a real. His class is good. He's got 27 kids.
Mhm.
You might. I don't know. He's funny.
It'd be interesting to see
Yeah,
the
see,
difference,
Possibly.
though.
Isn't that where
Is Dan there?
I
Yeah.
think Dan's in.
But I think
Yeah.
that Dan is going to a different
Oh, he
school
is?
next.
So
Okay.
what I'm
I
just
don't know.
saying is,
We'll
and
see.
but he is so funny. He is just absolutely. He and girls are a hoot. I just love him. Dang good teacher. But anyway, think about it.
Yeah.
That's what I want you guys. I want you to do a spectrum. I want you to see, because every grade level has.
Yeah.
So, okay. Next question.
Next
All right.
question is, what are challenges, like the biggest challenges with your job?
Oh.
What's hardest for you?
Oh, for me?
Yeah, for you personally.
Personally, is I don't think I'm doing enough. I know that sounds strange. She's coming. She's coming. Oh God, she's so funny.
For
She's
me.
got some major health problems. I'm sure she's cranky, but anyway, but I love her though. Don't get me wrong. Okay, she's phenomenal.
Yeah.
She goes and she speaks and she goes to different kindergarten rooms and she's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
But she's got some female. Oh God! And I say, "You okay?" And she's got a horrible class.
Yeah, that's
the Fab Five.
there.
But any place else, they would put them in a self-contained
That's
program.
what she said. Is
They
actually
would.
one of the students
Uh-huh.
was
Mhm.
like on half days and self-contained, and now
Yeah. She's got, oh.
yeah.
You would be amazed. Those 5 at any other school, they'd be kicking them out, putting them in special ed, and saying, we're done with them.
Mhm.
I know. I'm just, yeah. Okay, so my number one challenge is the expectations and the role of a principal, because everybody who walks into this school or this office, so when I say the word principal to you, what do you think of? What's your view of a principal?
I don't really know, because I know that in the principals that I had in my elementary schools, they were always very background. So I don't really have a great view of what.
You don't?
Well, from you.
Yeah.
Some of these kids, Miss Johnson, you've been my only principal. I say, oh Lord, okay.
Yeah.
What do you think? What's the role of a principal? If I said, what's the role of a principal?
Gosh, I feel like you have to know like every student, like
Okay.
because you don't have just one class. Like the principal has a whole school, so I feel like that would be really hard. And then I know that they're like administrative, like you said, like
Mhm.
budget and
Mm-hmm.
policy, blah, 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 that you have to.
So
Tend
so
to-
if you were a parent
Mhm.
and you had to go see the principal, okay,
Mhm.
what would you be thinking? I have to go see
Discipline.
them. Okay, what do you think? If even when you met me,
Mhm.
what were your perceptions? Because this is the biggest challenge. What is your perceptions of what you think a principal is?
I don't know. I just think of it just in charge of everything. Like you
Okay.
are the.
But do you fear a principal? Do you feel you can be?
I feel like a lot of the times, like when you think of like getting sent to the principal's office as a student, like it's
Okay.
because you're in trouble.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's, in my mind, a lot of discipline that goes on with.
Okay.
It's a disciplinary figure.
That's a challenge.
Mhm.
Because it's so amazing when people walk in for the first time when they go, they're very, well, they, and I just look at them and I say, ooh. I said, did you take a chill pill today? And I know that sounds strange, okay? Or parents coming in, or families, or people in the community. And one of the greatest challenges here is that I have to tell people, I am a visitor in your community. Now you think about this. I don't live on the hilltop, do I? Uh-uh. Where you will probably teach, you don't live in that community. But the people who live in this community really should have the most say.
Mhm.
So when I got here 8 years ago, we had 160 volunteers from some kind of program. I don't remember. We had the assistant mayor. We had all these people. Whirling, okay? But you had almost 300 suspensions. They were coming to help the poor kids. See, I'm going to help you learn to read. That's what this whole school was. Well, you come from poverty. You're black. Yeah, I know you're black. I'm white. That's the difference. So, one of the greatest challenges I face is that to convince people there's nothing wrong with these children. But there is institutional racism. It's huge. And I don't want my children to buy in. What do I get for it? My undying love and gratitude, for God's sake. Jeez. And the happy dance, okay? That is this huge perception still. When I say I'm Principal Stanley, oh, do you work with the poor children? No. You would be amazed. The hardest part of my job is what is the perception of Stanley and what is the perception of being a principal. Everybody has a different viewpoint. So my job, if it's a challenge, then I challenge them to change their perception of what a principal is. Because it's the same thing with teachers. Well, what's a doctor? What's a dentist? You only get to know them personally if you build trust. So through that challenge, my goal is always having to build trust with the community. But my number one thing is, I don't live in this community, but the community has been gracious enough to allow me to become part of their community. I go to the area churches, I have more fun. Oh God, I'm a good Lutheran girl. But I got to tell you, the Baptist, and the aim, I got to tell you, I have more fun. Woo! I got my own mama and daddy going over here to Peace Lutheran. Oh, it's a rock and rolling church over here. You got to try it sometime. It's just delightful. It's all about giving back and service. Greatest challenge is the role of a principal. What is the perception of it? So that is, do I got everything like cab and people to, Kai, how are you?
Good.
Did you show Grandma, is Grandma here?
No, yeah.
Is she?
No.
Go get Grandma for a minute.
No.
Yes!
No.
Do you want to go get Grandma? Grandma's getting Marley.
Okay, tell Grandma, because I want Grandma to see what he helped fix today. That little boy, he is exhausted. He just turned 5. He's not sleeping at night. Grandma just adopted him. He's had a horrible early on. He can't sleep. He's cranky. So, do you put discipline into him? No. Okay, he's in the TLC dorm. So, I held him for 20 minutes. Oh, he was fighting me. I said, I love you. I said, oh, no. De-escalate. He always brought de-escalation. That's what he needed. And then he helped Miss Ramona clean that. Fix it. There was a broken chair. And he went, got tools. He's 2.5 or 3. He's 5 chronologically. Made the cutoff by 1 day. And they put him in TLC because of his behavior. Yeah, he has behavior, but he's 2.5. See the difference? Well, that's a challenge too, but no. So anyway. Okay, so that's what it is.
All right.
But I always have cab and things like that downtown. That's always going to be a challenge. Does that make sense? Yeah, they're rough. It comes with the job. Okay.
Okay.
What would you like to see change in education?
Everything.
And
We figured this would be.
yeah, we figured this would be a good one. And do you see like the changes you want to see? Do you see those
No.
realistically happening? No.
No,
So
not
where
right
do you
now.
see education going versus
Where you
where
want it
you
to
would
go?
like it to go?
Well, there's... Oh, jeez. As I tell
You can take a minute.
No,
Loaded
there's...
question.
It's a loaded question, okay? Because we know the state is coming through, and you got to do these, the very best teachers. You've got to do this state by state. The Fed's coming in. It's a loose cannon. It's really kind of fun though to watch. Just sit back and watch these innovative schools. Excuse me. I'm innovative. So here's the number one thing. My belief is you get a school and you sit and you talk to your community and you say, what do you want, parents? What do you want? How can I make this school that you would like? Especially in elementary, it's all about common sense. It's common sense in elementary. My own children, I can speak for them. One's a doctor and one's a lawyer, okay? And I'm just, hello to you, but anyway. My doctor's son never got caught, and my lawyer's son got caught all the time, okay? But they had opportunities to travel. Stephen, my youngest, had severe learning issues, okay? He's a lawyer in Atlanta for the United States government. I went to Emory Law. Brian went to Emory Med. What's wrong with schools today is, and what's wrong with them is, society expects us to do everything. We can't. I can't change KCOT. I can't change societal problems, but I'm expected to get every kid up to grade level. I will not tell you how frustrating it is when we get a kid like our little Andy, in kindergarten. In Sarah's room, we got to meet Andy. He's never been to school. He's at first grade age. And he talks, oh, that dad. That's his head. And his sister Catherine, who's like this big. He's never been to school. His mom and dad said, well, they wouldn't let him in Texas. Okay. Point is, I'm expected to have Andy meet first grade standards by the end of the year. Well, my goodness gracious, he now knows 26 letters. And he knows the sounds. Okay? That's what's frustrating about public education. We are held accountable for things I have no control over. I got damn good teachers. Okay? But what it is, it's a community. So if you talk to me about what's right, So here's my question. So how do you change society when you say you can give 5 days for parents? Like, let's say you work for a warehouse, or I don't know, give me a company. You can go volunteer half a day once a week in your schools. Hello? Come play games with them. People always want to come and teach a kid to read. No. Come and work with them. Where can you come after school and tutor? Can you come before school? See, building an innovative school will eventually wear out because the people wear out. Oh, come here. Oh, I have to tell you what we did today, Grandma.
Oh, did you fix that?
Oh, can I tell you always? I know, but we love you. And I held you, didn't I? And he fought me. He just hated me. And I said, no, you don't. He said, okay, fine. So anyway.
I don't hate you.
I know you don't. So anyway, then he got really calm. Really calm. See, I know. Okay. And then I said, you know what? This chair needs to be fixed. So we went and got Miss Ramona, Miss Momo.
Awesome.
And can you show her? He got to help hold it, and he went up to the boiler room.
Awesome.
See?
Look
And he
at
helped fix it.
You fixed it.
Good job. Yes, I will take care of your blue book.
Awesome. I really appreciate it. I don't know why we don't sleep.
Can I tell
I
you?
took the TV. No
I did-
TV.
no, I-
We're reading
can I
books.
tell
We're
you,
snoring.
When I went,
I
I
slept
said,
another hour later.
and he was in the chair fighting to fall asleep. You might want to call the doc. I don't know what's with it. He will not.
Let himself go.
He will not let himself go.
We went to which doctor? We went to the psychiatrist today. The
What'd they
psychiatrist.
say?
I said I've been given a melatonin. That's
Yeah.
what you said. It just not working. And the
Yeah.
guy, well, it doesn't work on everybody. And that's all he said. And I'm like, well, what do I do now?
Because, I mean, he is being naughty because he's exhausted.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it
Exactly.
is.
No one can
And-
operate.
No,
I can't
and he's
either.
so funny. I have to go in like this.
We've got the advice.
I go in there and I say, no, I'm not going to. So I just said, well, I'm going to hold you, which is fine. And he's you're gonna right, and I yell like grandma, right? And I hold him and I put him right here like this, and I say, I love you.
Mhm.
I love you.
That's what we do.
And guess what? I'm just mimicking with you. How does that sound?
Right.
Thank you. But I wanted to show you how proud he was of helping. So if he comes home,
Good job.
her name is Ramona, but he calls her Miss. I just love Miss Momo.
She's our neighbor.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
She's
Yeah,
wonderful.
she is. She's
She
really nice
is.
person.
Can you say goodbye to Mr.
Thank you so
Fredericks?
much.
Oh no, thank you so much. Hold on, girl. Yes, dear. Love it. You Oh. Oh, great.
Just
Well, come here.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I love the office too. Go in there.
Third grade? Please. Okay.
I kind of want to see a different classroom, but I really want to stay here.
I'm gonna email
Perfect. So, is it you would like to stay at Sam?
especially the special education services.
Because I think she would appreciate if we wanted to talk about it. So she said like you should have the grade and see if I can dress the ones too, just to like get
And I also have to do
she
the,
would like that too.
I'm in a special as well next. I gotta do parallel practicum hours next semester. So I could do both from here. Because they serve so many special education kids.
I know. You should have the DD class.
Yes, Corey, men don't talk that way.
Oh, we could Spanish.
Okay.
Great.
Robert, what's wrong? Are you sad?
Some mix up with the recorder that I gotta get to the bottom.
Okay, not a problem. A little child saying, we can hardly wait to, he loves Aaliyah, he can hardly wait to do what grown-ups do with her.
Oh.
I said, that's not good. See if I,
How do you handle that?
then they're gonna say, I said, oh no, that's not good to say. Oh, that's really bad. No. But obviously, he's a first grader. He's heard it before. Okay. So he can't deny it. I said, oh, when you said this, but no, I think when you said it. Here's other rule. When you did this, no, let's just start. When you did this, is this the face of a woman who's mad? Good. So when you kicked, I didn't kick. Okay, so when you touched the other person, yeah, great. That's called a kick. Now, let's move on. Okay,
All right.
yeah. So what's wrong with education? Everybody's got an opinion.
Mhm.
But I think that the number one thing is you as teachers, seriously, you as teachers have to choose what kind of school you want to be at. Don't get stuck at one school because that's where your car goes. Go where you have to take a challenge. And I think that's what I would like to see changed. Is that I would love to hire you first year teachers. I would kill to hire you. I would because you're fun. Because when we make mistakes, we can all go, oh! Because people do the same thing. That's what's the problem with education. It's not about the type of school. Who do you hire to bring them in and build teams? Isn't that awesome? See, I can't get enough of you young people in because you're fun and you're good. But you have to build up some repertoire skills. I love Brett Sizemore. God, he just surprises me every day. Ooh, where'd you learn that one? Okay. Alicia over in DD. I've got new teachers around here. And when they come with some questions, I go, oh, it keeps me alive. So what's wrong with education? I can't keep you guys. I can't get enough of you young people with fresh ideas. And we don't have a good mix. Think about that. We don't have a good mix of senior teachers and young teachers. Yeah.
Akil's been in our classroom and he should be going back to class and he won't go. Should I force it or?
Give me 5.
Okay.
Okay?
Fine.
Thanks, darling. See how that works? So that's what's wrong with education. You know, you want to do the innovative schools. Well, have you ever thought of I want a professional development school. When I worked with this guy, I didn't know he was famous, but his name was Goodlad. John Goodlad, look him up, okay. And Lake Rushing sent me over to work with him on professional development schools. It's where PLU becomes Stanley and Stanley becomes PLU. And your classes are done here, 2nd, 3rd, and your 4th year, and then you're guaranteed a job with Tacoma the following year someplace. So you are on the spot teaching. Chicago has with the University of Chicago. So that's what I want. Because I think the future is all about you guys, right? And then when you do unbelievable things, I go, oh, God, she's doing good. Sorry. Okay, next.
All right, final question. What advice would you give for teachers in training?
I think I gave it.
So I think
So
we
you
got
covered a lot of this. That's
Yeah,
just
So it's mostly
anything else?
Because at 57 and 34 years, 34 or whatever, I hope what I convey to you is that teaching is an art. And right now in the United States, we're trying to make it a what? A science. We can take apart the critical elements and put it into the 5 dimensions of learning. Or in your evaluation, did you tip your pencil at an angle of 42-degree angle? Did you say your learning task over and over and over? Did you put it in kids' language? See the mumble jumble? I guess I had the freedom when I was going through school and teaching. There's a place for everything. And we have lost sight, that's my goal for you, is you work with the understanding that if teaching is an art, there's sometimes you don't know why you do what you do. Because it looks good. It feels right. To add that little bit of red paint. Now your lesson plan might say this, but your kids are saying a different story. Think about when you paint and how much okay? What is happening with the advice is you guys get locked in. Oh, I gotta get to that standard. Oh my God, I gotta do this. Oh my gosh. That's what gets you guys, right? Oh me, oh my, I can't have fun with my children because they have to be with the pacing guide. Okay? So my advice to you is, yes, do all that kind of stuff, but never lose sight. If it's not fun, then why are you doing it? If it is not fun, if it becomes a job, then you shouldn't do it. That's my view on life. But fun means there's always something that keeps you going, and always keep learning. Always. Because how did I know what the heck special ed was training? Isn't an exciting time in education? I've never seen anything like it before. Who would have ever thought 35 years ago we would have Common Core standards? Who would ever thought you'd be taping me? We had the old machine that went, you put the ink stuff on. I'm sorry, okay. God, I sound like I'm from the 20s. So, and that's the advice I keep telling you. Learn. Don't be passionate about your work, because if you become passionate, you lose sight. But what you are is, how do you keep growing as an individual? And I got to tell you, if you ever got an opportunity to teach overseas, go overseas and teach. If you ever have the time to travel and see different ways people do things, I highly suggest people should leave buildings every couple of years. I just kicked Tiffany Smith out over to another building. She was awesome. I love her. Absolutely adore her. She's over at Geiger right now. But she had done DD for 2 years. I said, but I don't want to leave you. You're leaving me. Don't get comfortable. See, there's times to be comfortable if you're married and having 2 kids and a dog and whatever, okay. But, yes, Mr. Hankins.
Angel Foreman, she's trying to tell me and Malia to go out, and I'm trying to back it down, but she keeps on telling me
She's telling you to do what, sweetie?
to go out with Malia.
She is? My goodness, and you did the right thing. Way to go. Grab a book and sit there, and you ran for the hills, Hankins. Way to go, run for the hills, Mr. Hankins. Proud of you, Mr. Hankins. Hang in there, Mr. Hankins. And he's just high balls in it. But anyway. So has this been helpful?
Yes.
Very.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you
Thank
are
you so much.
more than welcome. I've got access to fingertips if you ever need anything. If you wanted to see special ed preschools, if you wanted to see any other building in Tacoma, very easy for me to set it up. If you want to go see, like, I can send you over to Geiger and you can see Montessori. If you wanted to see any of the other programs, Grant, the arts. I don't know what any of these schools are, okay? But if you'd like to, I'd be more than happy to set up anything for you guys,
Thank
okay?
you so much.
It'd be wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank
Huh?
you. It'd be wonderful.
Yeah, and because what I want you to do is, so when you go into your student teaching, you're going into it with this idea that it's important, okay? But it might not be the grade you teach. That's why it's really good you went kindergarten. And then there's Mr. Hussey.
The best.
I know, I'm trying to
I've
convince
heard.
her. Yes, Angel.
They are the impression they can come talk to you whenever they need to.
What, is there an issue? Oh, I know. Oh, no, honey, I had to use this room for, they're fine.
Okay.
Okay, they're just
But they
fine.
didn't have a hall pass, so
I
thought
know,
I'd escort
and
them
my
myself.
apologies, okay? Mr. Hussey, thank you for bringing them
You're
in.
good?
Yeah, get your look away that you're okay. Smile. This is good. They're funny. Yeah, honey, they're using that room today, so come back tomorrow, okay? Thank you. I love you. Yes, my apologies. I am so sorry. See, I cut deals, and I don't tell you about cutting deals, right?
Yes, you do.
She's doing her practicum in kindergarten, but she always thought she wanted to do 4th or 5th.
You
and
do
I,
want to do 4th and 5th.
and I don't know if what's his name is staying with you.
He said he's coming back in January,
Oh, okay.
but I haven't heard that from
Okay.
anybody
January?
official.
January.
January, we
have-
don't technically have any practicum hours. They said it's optional for us to come
For-
back, but it
for
just doesn't
rotation.
count for
Okay.
anything for January.
So what
for
I'm
us.
saying
Yeah.
is, I got Mr. Hussey here, and I got Sizemore too, but he's young and new, and
He's overloaded.
we know that. I was quite.
You're the one overloading him
I know, but that's why I love him.
because he doesn't say no.
Yeah, now he is.
I'm teaching him
That's why I love you.
sometimes. Seriously, you should come visit 5th grade.
Okay.
I mean, really, you want to wipe boogers and tie shoes? No.
Very cute.
Cute. I'll show you my baby pictures. We do literature.
You know, you could have two, because you could do it opposite times that he's there.
You should come visit. They're really cool. They still want to be kids. They
Mhm.
want to have fun, but they're old enough to start having some mature conversations.
Yeah.
See, and that's what I'm telling them. Do a kinder or a first and do a fifth.
I mean, it was like we were talking X-rays. And
Yeah.
I was just, can we talk like adults?
Yeah.
Mrs. Hawsey, her family has cancer in the breasts.
Yeah.
And she goes to the doctor for X-rays.
Yeah.
They didn't giggle. They just like, oh. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's that mature. They're starting to be mature enough,
They are.
and so you get some great conversations.
You can get deep in your
You can,
conversation.
totally.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but think about
Thank
it.
you, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, because we'd love to have you stay. Yes, dear.
Okay, where'd Robert go? Oh, there he is. Come here.
I also have for spring, because I'm
Baptize the-
elementary and special
Okay.
education endorsed, I have to do half and half. Is it possible for me
Yeah.
to get into special education? I don't know if they want me in a resource or like a DD
I can easily get you in a DD.
Okay.
Not a problem. I
Okay.
can get you in a DD. Sue's might having from PLU a student teacher in an LRC. Okay.
Okay.
But just work with us.
Okay, yeah, I'll talk to
Yeah.
our practicum placement person and
Okay.
then
And
talk to
I
you
also
about
probably
it.
could get you into a special ed preschool too, if you're interested in a special ed preschool. So, but I just want to spread you.
Yeah.
Special ed preschools are really interesting because you can see where that all starts.
Uh-huh.
So, but anyway, work with us. We can
Okay,
figure it out.
great.
All right.
Or I can send you down to McCarver. I'm not. Okay,
All right.
taken care of?
Yeah,
Awesome.
thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
It's been really helpful.
Thank you.